students, as we were doing chapter 7 aggregate demand and related concepts, and we are till now we have completed the equations of the consumption and the saving functions. Let's discuss some important questions that will come in your exams and which is also related to the next topic, derivation of saving curve from the consumption curve. So this is given in your books also, and it can be asked in the opposite way. You can be given the saving curve and you have to derive the consumption curve. So you need to write down these steps. That is why I have taken this in this particular format. So we have to use the diagram. So first of all, we will draw the saving curve, and then we will use it. We will draw the lines at the point where saving is 0p, and we will drop this line, and we will try to take a point on the income line y, which will be drawn p1, and at this point we will draw the consumption curve touching the income line. In this way you will draw this graph. So minus c bar is given in the saving function, and c bar will be taken in the consumption function. The distance from the origin till the line C is c bar. Now after drawing these two curves, we will write down these steps. In the first step, we will say in figure A there is a point P where saving is 0, and at this point we will draw corresponding point. We will draw a point, drop a point on income line, that is P1, where income will be equal to consumption. We will then draw a consumption line passing through this point P1. So here at point P1, consumption and income is equal. So P1 is the break-even level of point. Now after point P, in figure A and B, two figures are there. Figure A, saving tends to be positive. If you see, saving is moving upwards and it is positive. And in figure B, after P1, income is greater than consumption. This is the step 2. Step 3 will say before point P, in the figure A, saving is negative. It is, the line is below the x-axis, so it is negative. And in case of figure B, below the point P1, as we see, consumption is more than income. So this is also saying that saving is 0. So these are the steps which are used to derive the consumption curve from the saving curve. Let's see derivation of saving curve from the consumption curve. So here what are the steps that we will write? First we will draw the graph like this. Here we will draw the graph that is given. Then we will write the steps. Figure A, figure B we will take. Okay. So what is done in the figure A? Figure A, we see there is a consumption curve and there is an income line curve, that is 45-degree angle. Okay, and the point where they meet, we will take it as a break-even point. We take it as point E in figure A. Figure B, we will drop from the point A, we will reach a point R, and when income is equal to consumption, we will plot this point as saving is 0. Okay, the steps are just reversed. In figure A, we had a saving curve. Here we have an income and consumption curve. In figure B, we have an income and consumption curve. Here we have a saving curve. Now we will start with our first step. First step will say at point E in figure A, where consumption is equal to 0, we will drop a line, and we will, on the x-axis where it touches, we will draw saving curve from that point. Okay, and that is moving upwards and also moving downwards. What is the distance that will, how we will draw this line? We will actually take c bar as negative c bar, the value, and then we will draw this saving line. Second point, after the point E income is greater than consumption, and figure A, and figure B, after the break even point or after saving is 0, saving becomes positive. At point 3, before equilibrium, consumption is more than income in figure A, but in case of figure B, what is there? Saving is 0 before the point R. So saving is negative actually. After 0 it is negative. So we will just use the same pattern of answering the questions. We will write the steps just like this, and we will use the figures, and we will do these questions in exam if we are asked with the derivation of consumption curve or with the derivation of the saving curve. We will use it like this. अब आप इधर देखिए, दिस क्वेश्चन सेविंग फंक्शन फ्रॉम दी कंजम्पशन फंक्शन आपको डिराइव करना है. सो कर्व हमने डिराइव किया और लास्ट क्लास में ये आपसे शेयर भी किया था, हाउ टू डिराइव सेविंग फंक्शन फ्रॉम दी कंजम्पशन फंक्शन. तो इसको अंडरस्टैंड करने की कोशिश करते हैं. सेविंग इज़ द फंक्शन ऑफ इनकम. वॉट एवर सेविंग इज़ हैविंग, अ पर्सन इज़ हैविंग, इट डिपेंड्स ऑन द लेवल ऑफ इनकम. सेविंग ज़ीरो भी हो सकता है, नेगेटिव भी हो सकता है, एंड द लोअर लेवल ऑफ इनकम. Income increase होती है, saving will also be increase. These are the two main features of a saving function we will write. Then as income increases, saving also increases, but not more than increase in income. So saving is income minus consumption. So we will just put the value of consumption function A plus by. A is C bar, by is B is MPC, propensity to consume. Now we will just open the brackets and we will get the saving function. So we have derived the saving function using the equation saving is equal to income minus consumption, because income is either saved or consumed. Income is equal to consumption plus saving. So we can put the saving on the left and consumption on the right, and in this way we get the equation. ओके, आई जस्ट शो यू दिस थिंग. एक बार मैं आपको दिखा देती हूँ. देखिए, अगर आप बात करें, इनकम इज़ आइदर कंज्यूम्ड और सेव्ड. ओके, कंजम्पशन फंक्शन की इक्वेशन वी हैव डन इन द लास्ट क्लास. C bar plus by. B is marginal propensity to consume. ओके, अब यहाँ पे वी विल पुट द इक्वेशन. इसको कैसे लिख सकते हैं इस इक्वेशन को? वी कैन राइट इट लाइक दिस, y माइनस सी. वी टेक c ऑन दैट साइड, उसको रिवर्स करके लिखा है. सो इन दिस इक्वेशन इफ वी पुट द वैल्यू, वी आर डेराइविंग सेविंग फंक्शन फ्रॉम द कंजम्पशन फंक्शन. सो वी विल पुट द वैल्यू ऑफ कंजम्पशन फंक्शन हियर, C bar plus by. We will open the brackets, C bar minus by, and then we will just use C bar, we will put here minus C bar, and from this we will try to 1 minus by. So this is the equation. Saving curve is equal to minus C bar plus 1 minus by. In this way we will derive the saving function from the consumption function. Okay, they have used different denominations. जैसे हमने C bar यूज़ किया है, they have used A. Okay, so don't get confused. Or in the it is autonomous consumption, and 1 minus B क्या हो जाएगा? If B is MPC, 1 minus MPC is MPS, that is marginal propensity to save. Okay, in this way we derive the saving function from the consumption function. न्यूमेरिकल पार्ट अभी वी हैव नॉट स्टार्टेड, सो आई विल नॉट इंक्लूड दिस इन योर क्वेश्चन. देखिए, आपका ये 6 मार्क्स का क्वेश्चन है. दैट ऑल द क्वेश्चंस फॉर 6 मार्क्स फ्रॉम दिस चैप्टर विच आर इम्पॉर्टेंट वी आर डिस्कसिंग. So what is consumption function? Derive the consumption function and the break-even level. Okay, consumption function is what? C is equal to y, f into y, function of income. Consumption is a function of income. What are the two important features? At zero level of income, still there is a consumption. Okay, that is known as autonomous consumption. Minimum consumption is there, denoted by C bar. Next is, as income increases, consumption will also increases, but less than proportionate rate, at a very less than proportionate rate. This is what we talk about income and consumption. If we are doing additional consumption, it should be less than additional income. This is what they want to say. MPC is less than 1. Okay. So consumption function represented by this equation, C is equal to C bar plus BY. C bar is autonomous consumption, B is MPC, that is marginal propensity to consume, Y represents the income. Okay, so very simple. We in consumption function, we can just draw a line of consumption function taking a distance from origin C bar, and then we will take a point from where we will draw an upward sloping line. C is equal to C bar plus BY, and the slope of this line is equal to MPC, that is represented by change in consumption upon change in income. So next topic is your induced investment and autonomous investment. As I have told you, autonomous investment is a line parallel to the x-axis. As we have seen earlier also, investment is shown as a parallel line to the x-axis because it is not impacted by the level of income. Okay, this is investment that is undertaken by the business firms. So they plan according to the business conditions for the coming year. Induced investment, it depends on the profit expectation and influenced by the income level. So this is another type of investment. So we have two kinds of investments. So what is important in this concept is what is ex-ante saving and investment. Okay. Ex-ante saving and investment, as given in your books also, this is about planned saving and investments. Okay, these are something which is planned by the people. Ex post saving and ex-ante saving. Ex-ante is planned and ex post is what actually happens after planning and all, what actually happens, that is ex post. So we discussed that ex-ante savings or planned savings are equal to planned investments. Let's see. According to Keynesian, as you see in the graph also, saving curve is given like negative saving, then zero, then positive, as we have discussed earlier. And investment is given as a line parallel to the x-axis. We are talking about autonomous investment. This is the investment which is planned investment because it is done by the businessmen, done by the government on infrastructural projects, and it is independent of the income, as I have told you. So equilibrium level of national income is given here. Saving investment approach is given here. Investment is autonomous irrespective of the change in level of income, and savings is dependent on the level of income. Sometimes it's negative, then it becomes zero, then with the increase in income it increases. So when saving is not equal to investment, what happens? Economy is equilibrium at which point? When saving and investments are equal. So what happens when saving is less than investment? So ultimately investments are more than saving, households are saving less than what firms are willing to invest. So in other words, buyers are planning to spend more than what the producers are planning to invest. So output will fall short of the demand, and firms will have to plan to expand their investments and production. So this will happen when the saving is less than the investments. Savings are more. Savings need to be expanded here. Savings are less than the investment. Investments are more. Households are ready to, willing to buy more. Buyers are planning to buy more. Then the producers are investing. Now what will happen? Output will be less. So firms have to expand their investment now. They have to increase their production. They have to hire more and more factors of production. So then only they will reach an equilibrium point. S is equal to I. What happens when savings are more than investment? Business houses are investing more, but households are saving more and they are planning to buy less. So goods will remain unsold. In this situation, what will be done? Less investment will be there then. Lesser income, lesser saving. national income will be reduced here because unsold stock is there, so producers will produce and manufacture less and everything will be less. Okay, so this will reduce the national income to the equilibrium level of income. They will come towards the equilibrium level. So in both the cases, what will happen, even if saving is more than investment or less than investment, they will approach towards an equilibrium point Q where saving will be equal to investment. So this is how we are going to understand this particular topic. So that's complete. Thank you, class.